How's it going, guys? Just thought I'd do a bit of a rundown on the Canopy. We're selling the car, and I just had the thought today I should do a video before it's gone so people can get an idea of how it's made. So we'll go for a bit of a run through the setup, hopefully get an idea if you want to do it yourself, or if you're looking at other options for your tub rather than building a tray, and we'll see how we go. So time's finally come to do a bit of a rundown on this Canopy setup. As people might know, we've got the car for sale and it looks like it's probably going to go within the next week or two. So I thought I'd just run through how this is all built and the features and things like that. As you can see, it's all alloy, all braced. It's got this top floor section. Originally it did have this front section all welded in, but I've split it to make a false floor. So yeah, at the back here we've got a single door with like a piano hinge and a strut. Originally it didn't actually have a strut and I found one that worked. All hardcore lighting throughout, which has been unreal. Just lights up the whole campsite. Got the Dometic drawer fridge up the top. This is CD30. It holds about 30 tinnies. Good alternative to an esky. A little bit expensive, but you get that. And then we've got the CFX 40 food fridge underneath. Those two together work pretty well. We can do about 8 days off the grid. Coupled with the solar, don't have any issues. We'll get to the water tank setup up the front here. So, this is on at the moment. It's got a sea-flow pump underneath here with 55 litre water tank. All the 12 volt stuff's over that side. So this is our summer setup. In the winter, we'll pull the tank out and run firewood in that front section of the tub. Got the roof rack all bolted in with those plates and things like that. We had a Bush Company rooftop tent bolted to it and it was pretty solid. Not quite solid enough, but it'll do. Also, as far as construction, it's all alloy with like stainless hinges and lots of bracing, even bracing underneath. I did cut a few bars out of the front section to be able to make the false floor, but it's super durable. Had it lent against banks and trees and big rooftop tents and everything bolted to it, and yeah, it's stood the test of time. We've got 2 doors on either side. Originally it didn't have the perspex, so I put the perspex in. Just got a battery monitor up there, little volt gauge there, which is an older one. Wiring runs along the divide for the drawer fridge. It is a bit dirty, I mean, it gets used, what can you do? Underneath here, this side also lifts up. Got the 12 volt. You can see the fridge slide, back of the fridge slide with the support there to stop the firewood falling into it. Rhino rack on the top with the 160 watt panel. And yeah, so people have wanted to see an in-depth look at this setup for however long, there you have it. It's been great, really. In two minds about selling it. It's such a good setup for a tub. I think personally for me, it's probably the best use of a tub that I've seen. Surprising how much gear you can get in there. There's a lot of work in it. So the story of where it came from was a fabrication shop in Sydney. It was built for, I think, a person that worked there or maybe a customer. And it went on to an N80 Hilux. So it is slightly different here, slightly different, but the tub dimensions are pretty much exactly the same. And then by some miracle, I got my hands on it. And it's the best, probably the best modification I've made to this car. Being able to close everything up, have it watertight, and be able to lock everything, it's just unreal. Usually run When we don't have the tank in, we run a water jerry here with tools behind it, and then the firewood all up the front. In here you get gazebo or whatever you want, chairs. Well, actually I've got this section up the front here is for chairs. So you get 2 camp chairs in here and the table up in the top. So really good use of space. Hopefully that gives everyone an idea of how it's all made and what it all looks like opened up and up close. I know a lot of people have asked me, it's probably the thing I've had the most questions about, that and the rear bar. But I've always been hesitant because selfish old me doesn't want someone to have the same setup that I've got. It makes me sound like a knob, but I like it to be unique. It's not like every other Hilux with a train canopy. It's just something a bit different and still plenty of storage. So there you have it. For all those people that asked me about it over all the years, here's an in-depth view. Now that it's getting sold, happy to run through it all. This is probably the most empty it's ever been, I think. It'll be sad to see this go. I got a little pad there for where the rear wheel sort of butts up against the door. Let me close this up. It just slides in. Got a little rubber stopper there. And also, it's a rubber stopper that goes onto the back of the door there. So once it's latched in, it's all really strong. It's not gonna go anywhere. Yeah, there's something different. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for a useful tub setup. I love the look of it. Definitely be sad to see this setup go. It's been great, but excited for the challenge of fitting out a wagon. If you got any questions, let me know. Have a good one.